Hitting off of a surface, how important can that possibly be? Let's talk about that next. Welcome back to the McGolf Fitting Room, and this is McGolf's Fitting Friday, and we're on time. And we're talking about what do you hit off of, right? There's always been an argument. Do you hit outside? Do you hit inside? Do you hit off a mat? Do you hit off of dirt? And personally, I believe it's relegated to the places that you live. If you're in environments that are conducive to golf year-round, chances are you're outside. Even when it gets brutal hot outside, like in Florida's in that August-September time frame, you're in these shaded things. And when you're in there, these shaded, then that grass doesn't get any sunshine, in which case it dies. And so maybe you might be on a mat type surface, or it might be a roll around. There's just all these different possibilities. So why is that important? Well, from a fitting perspective, I want a consistent surface to hit off of. All right, golf clubs, there are no rules in golf clubs, none. All right, there's no rules on length, there's no rules on loft, there's no rules on lie, no rules on flex, no nothing. So it's my job to isolate those things so that you get the better golf. So how do I do that? Well, as we talked before, I isolate length first. While we're doing that, we're hitting off of a consistent piece of property. What you're seeing here, this is what they call the country club turf. The other turf, the standard turf, is a little bit more of a brilliant green versus a more of a muted green. And the same thing with the stance mat. All right, I use the fiber-built mats. I have the country club set up in my fitting area, and I have the regular setups out there. Country club stance mat is a little softer. It has a little bit more give, and so it feels more like you're standing on the dirt. And if you look in here, see how far my finger gets into there? So it will collect the club when you get in there. And the hitting area is just a muted color to kind of match with the stance mat, and it gives it a really nice look. So far everybody's liked it, and it is a consistent hitting area. All right, it sets up the same all the time, every time, and that is just one thing that we don't have to worry about. So if you can't hit off of a perfect lie every time, something might be wrong. Okay. Now you can argue, well, I need to hit on real grass. Well, maybe, but I'm not here about the grass. I'm here about the golf club. No. I've had guys say, well, it's not on the dirt, and that's what you're really hitting off of, and that's when you test from. I would say, well, that's a great idea. However, I'm not here for the dirt. I'm here about your swing tendencies and and clubs based on where you play the most and how you can effectively put those two together in order to play your best golf. And if I get you hitting off the same golf surface every single time, then I put it on you, the golfer, to hit through that turf, to know that those conditions are there, how you would hit it. Now, this is not like hitting off of just a regular flat mat at certain driving ranges where you're hitting off of a piece of turf that's this wide. Those give you false positives. They also hurt your joints. All right, we don't want that. I have this, so there's an inch thick hitting surface that will collect your club if you hit fat. If you hit thin, it's the same no matter what, right? But the lie on it is exactly the same all the time, and that's what we shoot for. Now, Fiberbuilt is not the only manufacturer of good hitting surfaces. It just happens to be the one that I picked out. And what Fiberbuilt had was a stance mat. It was a system. It was a rubber base. Then you put your stance mat in there, and then there was a hitting area. And the hitting area started out as an inch thick. And the wear on it was, they took a Chevy 350 engine and welded a club head to it and cycled it around over 350,000 times before the thing even started showing wear. So not even one, from my perspective, is it long lasting, which is a good thing. But it also, with that inch and that give, it also can collect your club and no false positives. It doesn't hurt your joints, and the standing part of it is also a give. because of the testing that they did. They did testing on wear, which is from a business perspective is a good thing. And then they did testing in comparison to the turf. How did it come off? How did it go out? How does it spin? All those different things. And in some cases they were virtually identical. In other cases they were really, really close. So good enough. That's the reason why we do that. Now, whether you're inside, outside, I like to have a conducive environment. You know, outdoors wind can play a factor. If you're wanting to hit a straight ball and it's blowing pretty hard right to left, that's going to be pretty hard because now you're making adjustments. I want to see what you're doing when everything is equal. Because again, if the ball is going right to left, it's not the club's job for you to go right to left. It's for you, the golfer, with that right piece of equipment in their hand to take that into account and adjust your aim. All right, so again, I'm back to a conducive environment. Now, I like in an open bay area where you're hitting to the out of doors, I think that's the premium thing to do. Being on a consistent surface in a nice, at least an environmentally controlled area, or at least out of the weather, and hitting balls into the weather. That would be my preference. So what I'm looking at here is a couple of things. How does it last? How does it react? And do you feel comfortable standing on it? And the answer in this particular instance for me has always been yes. Now, if there's other ones out there that you like, fine. You know, as long as it comes off, if it comes off the club, comes off the turf in a very, very similar fashion, that's what you're looking for. Whether you're inside or outside, we can debate that for another time, or leave me another comment down below and tell me, do you like hitting outside? Do you like hitting outside? A combination of both. And when you do that, tell me where you live. And so maybe I'm messed up, maybe I'm not. Okay. So hitting off for fittings, you have a very consistent surface. That's one more parameter to remove in order to find the best clubs for you. That's what we're trying to get across, whether it be fiber built or another company. If you liked it, please like in the box below and subscribe if you would. And tomorrow starts a bunch of fittings that we should be recording, and next Friday should have some good information to really get started into the meat of this thing. So until then, thank you for watching, and let you see your scores go low.